There was a time in my life when everything felt like it was falling apart. I woke up every morning already tired. Tired of working a job I didn't love. Tired of counting every dollar. Tired of pretending like I was okay, when deep down, I knew I was barely holding on. Every month, the same routine. I'd get paid, and by the end of the week, it was all gone: rent, bills, food, bets. I felt like a slave to money, constantly chasing it, but never catching it. I remember sitting alone one night, surrounded by overdue notices, credit card bills, and a bank balance that made me feel ashamed. I kept asking myself, why am I working so hard and still going nowhere? That was the moment it hit me. It wasn't that I was lazy or not trying hard enough. The truth was, I was playing the wrong game with the wrong rules. You see, most of us are taught from childhood to go to school, get a job, and work hard. But no one ever teaches us how money actually works, how wealth is created, how freedom is earned. We're told to survive, not to thrive. That night, I made a decision that changed everything. I promised myself, I'm done living like this. I don't care how long it takes, how hard it gets. I'm going to learn how to build wealth, not just chase it. That decision became the turning point in my life. I didn't get rich overnight. In fact, the journey ahead was filled with struggles, late nights, failed attempts, and hard lessons. But that night was the night I stopped being a victim. I realized I had to stop blaming the system, stop waiting for someone to rescue me, and start creating my own path. Because the truth is, no one's coming to save you. You have to save yourself. And it starts by learning a new set of rules that the rich follow quietly, while the rest of the world keeps spinning in circles. The first rule that changed my life forever was this: stop trading your time for money. I didn't understand this at first. I thought making money meant working more hours, getting a promotion, or picking up another side job. But no matter how hard I worked, I was still stuck. That's when I learned the harsh truth. Time is limited. Money isn't. If you only make money when you're physically working, then your income is always capped by your energy and your hours. That's why the rich don't just work for money. They build systems that make money for them. They write a book once, and it sells forever. They build a product once, and it sells every day. They invest in stocks or real estate, and their money grows while they sleep. Meanwhile, most people wake up, go to work, come home tired, and repeat this cycle day after day, year after year, hoping that one day it will all pay off. But time doesn't scale. And that's when it clicked for me. If I wanted to escape the trap, I had to shift my focus from active income to passive income. So I started small. I learned digital skills. I created an online product. I invested tiny amounts. I automated whatever I could. I stopped selling my time and started building things that could live without me. At first, it was slow, but one day, I made $9 while I was asleep, then $90, then $900. That moment changed everything, not because of the amount, but because I realized I was no longer trapped by the clock. Freedom doesn't come from a high salary. It comes from owning your time. And that only happens when your money keeps moving, even when you don't. After I started making passive income, I felt powerful. For the first time in my life, I wasn't worried about rent. I could buy things I used to only dream of. New clothes, a better phone. I even looked at cars I couldn't pronounce just a year before. I thought this was it. I thought this was success. But here's what no one tells you: when the money starts coming in, you start to feel empty, and it hits you hard. Because once the excitement fades, you realize something strange: money solves money problems. That's it. It doesn't give your life meaning, it doesn't heal your past, and it won't make you feel whole. That's when I learned my second rule: money is a tool, not the goal. If you chase money for the sake of it, you'll always want more. There's no finish line, no moment where you'll say, I'm done. But if you see money as a tool, a way to build, create, give, and grow, everything changes. I started asking better questions. What do I want money for? What kind of life am I building? What impact do I want to leave behind? That shift in thinking gave me purpose. I stopped wasting money on things that didn't matter and started using it to gain time, freedom, peace, and the ability to help others. That's when money became powerful, not because I worshipped it, but because I used it wisely. Money isn't evil, and it won't make you happy either. But if you learn to control it instead of letting it control you, it can unlock a life beyond anything you imagined. After learning how to make money and what it truly meant, I faced another truth that hit even harder. You don't get rich by chasing money, you get rich by chasing knowledge. That's when I learned my third rule: learn more to earn more. You see, for most of my life, I thought I had a money problem. But what I really had was a skills problem. No one teaches us this in school. We're told to get a job, work hard, and hope for a raise. But the people who win in this world aren't always the ones who work the hardest. They're the ones who know something others don't. The highest paid people aren't paid by the hour. They're paid for what they know, for their ability to solve problems, but for turning knowledge into results. So, I stopped asking, how can I make more money? And started asking, What skill can I learn that will make me valuable? I picked up books. I watched free YouTube tutorials. I enrolled in online courses, and most importantly, I applied what I learned. Slowly, everything changed. I started freelancing. Then, consulting. Then building digital products that sold themselves. The more I learned, the more I earned. And not just money. I earned confidence, options, freedom. Because here's the truth. If you can be replaced, you'll be underpaid. But if you become irreplaceable, you'll be unstoppable. Learning is the real currency. The best investment you'll ever make is in your own mind. I had done it. The money was flowing. My days were free. I could travel, rest, create, give, do anything I wanted. But something strange happened when I got everything I used to pray for. I started to feel lost. Not because life was bad, it was better than ever, but because I no longer needed to chase anything. No alarms, no debt, no boss, just peace. And in that silence, I asked myself a question I never thought I'd ask. What does all of this mean? I had followed the rules. I built the income. I escaped the system. But now I realized freedom is just the beginning. Because once you're free, you finally see what truly matters. It's not about luxury. It's not about flexing. It's not even about money anymore. It's about who you become in the process. Are you using your freedom to create, to heal, to give, to grow others? Or are you just numbing yourself with comfort? That was the final lesson I learned, and maybe the most important. Real wealth is not in your bank account. It's in your time, your peace, your purpose. Money gave me freedom, but purpose gave me life. So if you're on your journey right now, grinding, learning, struggling, keep going. Not just for the money, but for the version of you that's waiting on the other side. Because when you finally meet them, you'll understand. The goal was never just to get rich. The goal was to become someone who didn't need to be.